The SEC has long said that one of its concerns about approving a Bitcoin ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF specifically, is the lack of surveillance sharing agreements with regulated markets of significant size. We've seen that over and over again in various ETF application rejections.
Big news involving BlackRock, Coinbase, and NASDAQ. NASDAQ has refiled for BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, naming Coinbase specifically as a surveillance partner. This is the most recent information we have. NASDAQ refiled a 19B-4 form for the iShares Bitcoin Trust, a spot Bitcoin ETF with BlackRock at the helm. The move followed similar filings last week from the CBOE exchange. But NASDAQ specifically said it reached an agreement with the crypto exchange Coinbase to enter into a surveillance sharing agreement with the expectation that a definitive agreement will be done ahead of trading according to the filing. The filing reads, the spot BTC SSA is expected to be a bilateral surveillance sharing agreement between NASDAQ and Coinbase that is intended to supplement the exchange's market surveillance program. The move comes after the Wall Street Journal reported last week that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission told both NASDAQ and the CBOE that recent filings from BlackRock, from Fidelity, and others for spot Bitcoin ETF funds were not clear and comprehensive. CBOE then quickly updated its filings for the separate spot Bitcoin ETF proposal, including one proposed by Fidelity. The exchange included language that it expects to enter into a surveillance sharing agreement with Coinbase.
Obviously, the SEC has sued Coinbase, but importantly, it's not over Bitcoin. So the question now is, will the SEC agree that Coinbase maintains a significantly sized market for Bitcoin that will, allow it to spot any kind of potential market manipulation or fraud or any kind of, malicious activity that might impact the Bitcoin ETF's prices?
Coinbase being specifically named and listed as BlackRock's surveillance partner is big. This has a high likelihood of being approved.
BlackRock's got a 575 to 1 record in terms of these ETF applications. And so whenever you see something like that, it is BlackRock, et cetera, they probably have a very high degree of confidence that this is going to get approved. Now, does that mean it's going to get approved next week or in a year? I'm not sure. But I think that most people have confidence that a Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved at some point. And the real question is, once that happens, how big will it get, right? We saw the futures ETF had about $1 billion of inflow in the first week. And so if a spot ETF gets approved, will we see $1 billion in a single day? It seems pretty crazy to me that we've gotten this far, $600 billion in the Bitcoin asset without a spot ETF in the United States. And so when it happens, I do think that a lot of people will pour capital into it. And there's just too many people who want exposure to this product for us to never get it.
Make sure you make an account on Bitget, sponsor of our channel, for a chance to win over $5,000 in prizes completing different tasks. You must be outside the US to make an account. Now, different new prize competition just announced. In addition to the $5,000 plus in prizes for doing the normal tasks, today you can join and share a $100,000 prize pool, again, for completing certain tasks. And you choose which tasks you want to complete. Each task completed is one more chance to win the big prizes. So KYC not required, it's optional. But if you do KYC, you have one more chance to spin the wheel. You can win MacBook Air M2 computer, 2K Amazon voucher, etc., big prizes. So the different tasks you can do to win $100,000 in prizes: complete KYC verification, you get one additional chance. First time deposit over $200, get one additional chance. $50,000 trading volume, you get one more chance to win the $100,000 in prizes. Complete first-time copy trading trade, get one more chance. Complete first-time deposit via P2P, get one more chance. Complete first-time deposit via bank deposit, get one more chance. Complete first-time deposit via debit credit card, get one chance. Subscribe to SharkFin Earn, get a chance. Subscribe to BGB Earn and get one chance. Now, all of these are not mandatory to be up for the prizes. It's up for you. It's up to you for how much you do, for how many chances you want to get the big prize. Bitget is a leading spot and derivative exchange, certainly one of the best places to trade. If you don't have an account, use our link below, make an account. Bitget is a top 5 derivative exchange in the world, a top 10 spot exchange in the world. They are the largest and leading spot and futures copy trading platform. They have 8 million users in more than 100 countries. They have a 300 million protection fund, second only to Binance, I believe. They do Merkle Tree proof of reserves. They partnered with Lionel Messi. Hurry up, create an account, link below. First 1,000 people who use our link get special bonuses. Buy and trade crypto at Bitget Exchange. Like we said, the SEC is going after Coinbase for securities laws and for listing certain tokens and staking products. They're not going after Coinbase for them listing Bitcoin. So BlackRock and Coinbase has a high likelihood of getting approved. But what about this? What about the SEC and Coinbase lawsuit? Well, let me update you. Coinbase argues abuse of process, seeks to dismiss SEC case. Coinbase is arguing that the SEC's application of securities laws to these digital tokens diverges significantly from established legal precedents. In a bold move against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Coinbase has filed a motion to dismiss its SEC lawsuit. Coinbase says this: rather than test its new view through notice and comment rulemaking, the SEC has chosen to roll out its ever-aggressive agenda through punitive, retroactive enforcement actions. Agency enforcement authority is important, but not boundless. The SEC's action here is beyond those bounds and unlawful. The move marks Coinbase's firm stance against the SEC's lawsuit, arguing that even if all allegations in the lawsuit are true, the SEC does not have legal claim. Coinbase's legal team stated that the lawsuit violates Coinbase's due process rights and constitutes an extraordinary abuse of power by the SEC. Quote, for years, Coinbase has begged the SEC for guidance about how it thinks the federal securities laws map onto the digital asset industry, as the SEC's actions reflect an escalating but undisclosed change in its own view of its authority. The SEC lawsuit accuses Coinbase of facilitating unregistered trading in 12 digital tokens, which the SEC has classified as securities. Coinbase disputes this claim, arguing that the SEC's application of securities law to these digital tokens deviates significantly from existing legal norms.
For Coinbase, and I think for the entire industry, however a court ultimately resolves these issues across a range of products and tokens, we will finally have clarity, and we will be able to order our business accordingly and appropriately. And so while we are very confident we have the better view of how to define an investment contract, and that all of the allegations in the SEC's complaint are incorrect or a misread of the securities laws, one way or the other, we're going to get clarity. And for Coinbase and for the industry, that's a win in and of itself.
Bitcoin is up 85% to start the year. It's the best performing asset in kind of the first half of the year. And I think that what we're watching is Wall Street saying we want access to this thing, and they're knocking on the door now. And so the SEC is going to have to make some decisions as to which applications they want to approve and how they're going to allow them to go ahead and get exposure.
Things are happening behind the scenes. We show you stuff like this on a daily basis. Make sure you're subscribed. Coinbase's Ethereum L2 network Base prepping for mainnet launch. Experts have conducted an external security audit and could not find any significant flaws in the network built by Coinbase and Optimism. More than that, Bitcoin is getting stronger. More and more people are realizing this.
Bitcoin is anti-fragile, right? And the reason why that's important is if you look at the start of the year, NASDAQ's up about 32%. It's the fastest start in the first 6 months of a year since about 1983. Bitcoin is up almost triple that. And so to talk about the performance of this asset to be up, 85%, and it almost seems like no one's paying attention. Yes, it is down still, but I think that what we have to realize is that the underlying fundamentals of Bitcoin continue to strengthen as well. We see hash rate hitting all-time highs. We see adoption hitting all-time highs. We continue to see all of these different data points that we know feed into the price leading into the halving that's going to occur next year. And so again, we've talked about it on this program for years now that Bitcoin as an asset, it's not controlled by anyone. There are millions and millions of people around the world that continue to adopt it. The public narrative sometimes is bullish, sometimes it's bearish. There's greed and there's fear. But ultimately, Bitcoin continues to do exactly what it's designed to do. It produces block after block after block of transactions. Anyone in the world with an internet connection can go ahead and use it. And therefore, we're watching around the world, people are realizing the value of that, and they're putting all sorts of capital into the network, and we're watching the performance kind of follow.
Hey, if you'll be in Portugal around the 10th through 12th of July, use our code Altcoin Daily 50 for 50% off tickets to Blockdown Festival. It's not just a conference, it's an experience, it's a festival. We'll be speaking there, we'll be hanging around. I hope to see you there. Again, use our code 50% off tickets.